on this dark, dreary, rainy Monday. It's kind of the signal of what the Carolina Panthers have been since Dave Tepper has taken over. And today, benching Bryce Young for Andy Dalton. Everybody has their opinions. What struck me yesterday, walking away from the stadium, we left at halftime because my dad had a dentist appointment, but it was pretty much over before it started. I've never had one of my teams beat me down like this in terms of the helpless feeling of, ugh, here we go again. Constantly, no happy moments, no bright spots, no light at the proverbial end of the tunnel. We all seen it the first 2 weeks. I mean, the O-line has played its butt off. Bryce was only pressured on 4 of 29 attempts. I hate it for Bryce, and people are going to say it's going to shatter his confidence. I think that's already shattered because he doesn't look confident in any decision, in any pass, in any footwork. It's just really, really hard to watch. And before I get into any more of it, I hate it for Bryce because these guys are humans too. And we dubbed Bryce the savior, and it was poorly handled. The whole drafting process, kind of the way that's came out over the last few years. It's gross, no matter how you slice it. But since Dave Tepper has taken over, it's not good. It's not in any aspect of it, and it feels like at this point, watching on the field, Bryce is kind of lost. I hate to use that word. I really do. But it's run, sideways screen. That's what the play calling has been. And the defense actually played pretty well yesterday, considering, and we had some chances to pounce on some things. But if you're unwilling to try to stretch the ball down the field with a pretty darn good offensive line, pretty seemingly good skill position players, but we really haven't seen it. And if I'm not mistaken, when Andy Dalton took over, when Bryce had the ankle injury, we had 400 yards, or he had over 400 yards, and with like 15 false starts because of the Seattle crowd noise, which has made it more impressive. Like, I didn't want to see any of this. I wanted to see marketed improvement. I wanted to see us competitive. I wasn't even really honestly expecting W's. I wanted them, but I just wanted to be competitive and have a flying chance. And right now, we don't. And I don't think continuing this trajectory is fair to anyone in that locker room. This whole situation is not fair to Dave Canales. He said this was his decision. Probably not fully, just because we know how things have gone here. But I feel like there's so many bad decisions that you can go back to, but letting Steve Wilkes walk out the door one of them letting Brandon Bean walk out the door, one of them the whole drafting process, Dave Tepper being way too involved in that. I think it's completely unfair to Bryce, but there's been a lot of throws in the last 2 weeks that need to be made if you're supposed to be the number one overall quarterback. And I feel like Bryce needs to find that trust in himself just to go sling it and say, screw it, I'm just going to sling it. Because he looks completely scared, completely unsure. And you notice I'm being careful with my words because this isn't all. I don't know who it's on. It's on Dave Tepper, but the reality is we got to keep pushing forward and find a starting point, because I don't think we have one. You got a decent offensive line now. You got some decent skill players. And we got to go to the Red Rocket to see if we can build up a fan base again, honestly, because I've never felt less excited about Carolina Panther football and about what we're going to see, because I don't think the first 2 weeks were actually football. I don't know what they were. Maybe Bryce sitting back and watching a little bit, yeah, it might not help, but also your eyes don't lie to you when you're watching Bryce lead this offense. And we've already lost our best player in Derek Brown on defense. That was notable because we've almost given up 200 yards on the ground in the first 2 weeks, which we're facing Kamara and J.K. Dobbins in a prominent rushing offense, but that's not good either. J.C. Horn's got cooked on a few things, but you've got to have at least a flying chance on one side of the ball. And I think we have to find that winning feeling again, or even partially, maybe, winning feeling again, like Steve Wilkes gave us a couple years back now. I think you just gotta. We've been so saturated and bad that I think this move is just to see if we can dig some semblance of winning feeling again out. I really wanted Bryce to work out, and he still might, but I just hate it for the kid because this was probably the worst situation he probably could have came into, and I don't think the worst part is I don't think everybody agreed. And obviously seeing CJ Stroud do what he's doing in Houston, that's an extra pill to swallow. The DJ Moore trade, that's an extra pill to swallow. Like, there's so many things that are just stacking up, but we don't even know what it means to be close in a game anymore. We had more penalty yards than total yards. So I think this move sucks to go to Andy Dalton, but I think it's a necessary move just to feel something And I feel like every fan feels like crap. Every fan wants to see Dave Tepper sell the team. I don't think that's gonna happen. But I don't. Words are hard to come by that aren't cuss words, that aren't internet friendly, that aren't disheartened. Watching other teams fly by, the parity in the NFL, the amount of upsets you're seeing, and we're just the entire NFL's punching bag. And I hate it for Dave Canales because I think, again, I think this is an unfair situation to him. It's an unfair situation to a lot of the players, to Bryce, to Andy. But the Andy Dalton train, the Red Rocket train is activated. See what happens. And we'll go from there. But we got 8 weeks before a bye week. I don't know what this move necessarily does for us as a whole, but the film doesn't lie, and Bryce and a breather may not be a bad thing. And obviously, I think we're in the culture of instant gratification. Social media is a devil for that, because remember, Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith, Aaron Rodgers sat behind Aaron Rodgers. I know that's not the world now, but maybe it'll help Bryce. I don't know, but I just want to have a fun feeling, instead of devastation, sadness, annoying, mad, sad. Those are all the emotions that you feel when you're a Carolina Panther fan. So I just want to feel something different. So maybe this will shake the tree loose, and we'll start in a right direction, or a direction. But as always, go Panthers. Thank you for listening. I know you might not listen to all of it, but I was just kind of getting all the feelings off the chest. Thanks, guys.